Show! Hi, everybody! Welcome to the first episode of the Sprixie Show. Today, we're gonna be looking at something so interesting and so high grade! Oopsies. Never mind. So, do you know what we're going to be doing today? A review? You betcha! Are you excited? Because I'm excited. Well then, here we go. This is our first review. Welcome to Pooh Corner. It's a good place to start, huh? But Green, I heard about this show. It's, well, don't worry, Orange. Please just calm down. It's okay. Mom, I don't want to hear about it anymore. Please, I don't like this show. I want to go home now. Can we just skip this review, please? Please? Anyway, let's continue with the review. Well, first of all, it looks like an innocent Winnie the Pooh show, huh? Well, it is. It's worth noting that this is the very first Winnie the Pooh TV series. And as you can see, it's live action. Who doesn't love live action? Okay. Let's play it straight. Let's just take a look at some of the differences. The biggest difference is Winnie the Pooh himself. He looks like Winnie the Pooh, only some people think he's creepy looking. Well, the cartoon Winnie, he's kind of cute. As you would expect, that's his regular appearance. But the live-action one in Pooh Corner, he's kind of, well, dare I put it, a little bit unnatural. I mean, his head seems a little too small, obviously because it's a costume, and people don't have that big of a head. And I don't know, just seeing him walk around in like full body when there's somebody in the costume, it's just, I don't know. And don't even get me started about those eyes! I don't know why they made his eyes look like that, but I guess it's just so he can blink. Pooh can blink without those. And does anybody know what they all look like? I assume they look like something. It's probably because of how low budget they are that they can't really afford to make them look so good. You are ignoring! Piglet is, well, he looks kinda cute. I'm pretty sure that the person who made these costumes had to make sure that they fit the people, were able to have their heads and their bodies be perfectly fit. But piglets, I wonder how small the person in the piglet costume was. Probably a little person or something? I don't know. But let's look at the differences between this piglet costume and the cartoon piglet. Well, the head's a little bit roundish. Also, this version of Piglet wears a scarf. Well, the Piglet we all know does not wear a scarf. I mean, it is a cute looking scarf. I do like scarves, but, well, I don't know. He does look cute in that scarf, I must say. Now let's look at Tigger. I understand Tigger is known to bounce on his tail, but because this is live action, I'm guessing there was no way they were able to make him bounce from his tail. I mean, a fake tail tail isn't as strong enough as, say, well, any tiger's tail, I must say. Also, I think that he's a little too, dare I say, quick. But you know what? I guess that's what makes Tigger funny. He's supposed to be really energetic. He's kinda cool here. He's really, really in character. The only difference is that instead of a pink nose, he has a black nose. I don't know, maybe they didn't have enough pink fabric to make the nose when they were making the costumes. Oh well. Now as for Eeyore, he is considered to be, well, an old gray donkey, as he is. But the thing is about this version of Eeyore is that he's less depressed and more cheerful. Also, I don't know if this is tied to any of the other stuff, but he really, really likes to eat thistles. I mean, thistles are plants, so I guess maybe they kind of put that into the actual Pooh stuff, but I guess that we've never really had that information, and we've only heard it here. Also, how does the Eeyore costume work? So for Kanga, I understand Kanga is kind of the female in the Winnie the Pooh cast, but just seeing the live-action version of Kanga, well, in Welcome to Pooh Corner form, she kind of looks a little bit like alright, let's move on. Rio is, he's actually kind of cute. And that's all. Moving on. As for Rabbit, okay, going back to the costume proportions, and, well, the reason why they look like this is so they can fit the person in the costume. But for this, I feel like Rabbit looks a little bit too, wide. While the cartoon Rabbit is more, well, thin, I must say. Also, I noticed that Rabbit is less cranky than his original cartoon counterpart. Maybe the people who make this show just don't like Rabbit being a jerk. Finally, we have Owl. Owl, well, I'm guessing he's more of the, I don't know, he does have the gag of, or the running gag, I must say, much like Eeyore with the thistles. He likes to talk about his relatives. But you know what? Well, I'm guessing that's kind of a thing he could do. I mean, yeah, sure, he can be very mature and wise, but yeah, just hearing him talk about his relatives is kind of amusing, I guess. But yeah, I'll stick with that. I can understand. Jay Green? I never knew that the characters had some interesting looks and personalities. It almost felt like that I missed something from the original stuff. Or should I say, the actual stuff that's been around for the longest. I know! And you, on the other hand, always respected them as creepy. But if you keep on looking at them, they might not seem creepy at all. They're actually kind of cute and really funny. Yeah, sure, it might be pretty low budget. They probably didn't have enough money. But I see them as just okay. They're supposed to be pure and sweet why are you wearing glasses? Oh! Uh, you know what? I don't know. According to this, it seems that they did these PSAs for educational children for schools. They talked about school bus safety and stranger danger. Oh, that's nice. I guess it would have been... Wait, what? School bus safety, etiquette, and stranger danger? Are you telling me that they also entertain children at school? Yeah. Is that a problem? I can't believe that those kids were actually able to pay attention without, worrying. Don't worry about anything. You see, Pooh's Great School Bus Adventure is a 13-minute long PSA that was released, I believe, in 1984. It taught children all about proper school bus etiquette. Well, what the plot is that the gang boards the school bus to deliver a forgotten school lunch to Christopher Robin, which I believe is the only time he was ever addressed to in the show. Anyway, while on the bus, they talk about what to do and what not to do in terms of school bus safety. This includes not running in front of the bus, not going under the bus, and don't eat or drink on the bus. Proper safety, school bus stuff, all that kind of, stuff like that. I mean, it's not really that popular. In fact, I'm pretty sure that you can only find a VHS copy of it somewhere in, a really old vintage antique store or something. Some kind of thrift shop. There's no way you're able to find it in a library anymore. Unless you look hard. Really hard. I mean, come on. I feel like that this is probably one of the most jarring things I have ever experienced from Winnie the Pooh, but there's more. However, there was another PSA, which is obviously the Stranger Danger one. Too Smart for Strangers was released in 1985 and was 45 minutes long. That is a very long one, but it's only lasted 45 minutes. In this one, you have to learn all about stranger danger. It features a few kids talking about what to do when approached by a stranger and what they do when, that happens. And of course, the Winnie the Pooh characters also give some tips on how to stay safe. Don't let a stranger in your house when a parent isn't home. Don't take anything from a stranger if they offer it to you, and run away when approached by a stranger while on the street. The reason why this is so infamous is because, they also talk about molestation, which is, touching private parts! They talk about private parts in this! But despite all of that, it's still a really good show, just like all the other ones. Well, that's our show. Bye!